Hello friends, today I have brought for you top best 20 movies in which you will get to see great action, crime, thriller, mystery plus sci-fi adventure movies with unique concepts. So friends, don't miss these movies and watch the video until the end. Move towards the movies of your list. Before that friends, there is a small request, please subscribe the channel and share the video. Now move on to the first movie of your list. The name of this movie is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. In this movie you get to see Tom Cruise, and if you are a fan of Tom Cruise then you will know how amazing action scenes you get to see in his movies. When it comes to the story of the movie, it is just like the rest of the Mission Impossible movies. The character named Ethan Hunt gets a mission that he has to complete, but the presentation of this movie is on a different level. With the stunts that Tom Cruise has performed inside this movie, you will find many moments that will catch your heart and make you say what a scene. The movie hooks you from the beginning, and as you keep watching it just gets even more enjoyable, and as the movie ends it feels like the beginning of a new adventure, as the story doesn't end but continues in the next movie. So watching this movie is definitely recommended. Let's move on to the second movie on your list. The name of movie is Society of the Snow. This movie is from 2024 and tries to capture a real event from 1970. The story revolves around a plane that takes off but never reaches its destination, crashing into a mountain. Instead, the survivors are trapped in snowy mountains and struggle to survive. The movie shows the various challenges they face and the efforts they make to stay alive. It is a gripping drama filled with intense moments that will give you goosebumps. I highly recommend this movie as it will keep you on the edge of your seat wanting to know what will happen next. You can watch this movie on Netflix. So friends, moving on to the third movie on your list. The name of this movie is Dune. The story of this movie revolves around a very powerful family with the next heir who is destined to lead the family. However, he starts experiencing terrifying visions of dark futures. This character becomes the main lead of the movie, and how he faces these visions and the challenges of the future is portrayed. The entire universe in this movie holds the most valuable asset controlled by his family. How this character takes control of this asset or not is what you'll have to watch the movie to find out. This movie will give you an insight into how the character deals with the power struggles and challenges. I highly recommend this movie and you can watch it on Prime Video. Friends, moving on to the fourth movie on your list. The name of this movie is Nightcrawler. It is a 2014 movie. Let's talk about the story of this movie. It revolves around a crime journalist who is willing to go beyond all limits in the name of his journalism. Now what happens with him or what this guy does you will only know after watching this movie. In this movie you will experience an amazing crime, thriller and mystery experience. So friends, I highly recommend this movie to you. So let's move on to the fifth movie on our list, which is Escape Room. This movie's story is based on the concept of being locked inside a room with strangers only to realize that it's not an ordinary room. Inside the room there are clues that need to be solved in order to progress to the next room. If you fail to solve the clues within a fixed time you will be eliminated. This movie showcases how a group of people must work together to survive and escape the deadly traps. Some will make it while others won't. To find out who makes it, how they survive and what tricks and clues are involved, you'll have to watch that movie. It's an incredible movie that you can watch on Prime Video. So friends, moving on to the sixth movie on our list. The movie's name is Annihilation. This movie showcases an amazing concept within its storyline. There is a mysterious area that is slowly expanding, and some biologists want to know what calamity within this area. When they enter the area they realize that the laws of nature do not apply there. What happens next is truly extraordinary. Inside the movie you will experience a thrilling adventure and horror like never before, so make sure to watch this movie as it is a must-see. So friends, let's move on to the seventh movie on our list, which is Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie has gained a lot of fans due to its unique storyline. The movie showcases a woman who can access her different variants in separate dimensions. She can access their memories and skills. Now it's her responsibility to save the world. How does she do it and what happens with her? You will find out by watching the movie. I will definitely recommend this movie. So friends, let's move on to the eighth movie on our list, which is Believer 2. This movie was released in 2023. The story revolves around a gangster whose son and daughter strive to impress their gangster father by eliminating any obstacles in his criminal business. Where their story leads you will have to find out by watching the movie. In this movie you will experience intense, brutal action, crime and thrills. It's an amazing movie that you must watch. So friends, let's move on to the ninth movie on our list. This movie is called Cold Pursuit. The story of this movie revolves around a man who deeply loves his family. One day he receives news that his son is no longer alive. He embarks on a journey to find out who killed his son and why will he be able to reach those responsible for his son's death? Watch the movie to find out. This action-packed crime thriller will keep you on the edge of your seat. Be sure to watch and recommend this movie now. Friends, let's move on to the 10th movie on our list. This movie is called The Little Things, which was released in 2021. The story of this movie is quite unique. It follows a police officer who is investigating the murder of a young girl. The police officer searches for clues to solve the murder. You should definitely give this movie a try, as it offers a fantastic blend of action, crime, mystery and thriller. Be sure to recommend this movie to others after watching it. So friends, moving on to the 11th movie on our list. This movie is called The Nice Guys and it was released in 2016. The story of this movie revolves around two detectives who are always at odds with each other. However, they end up working on the same case where a girl goes missing. Together they try to find this missing girl, and the adventures that follow are filled with mystery and thrills. You will get to see some amazing crime mystery in this movie, so make sure to watch it and I highly recommend it. So friends, let's move on to the 12th movie on our list. The name of this movie is The Witch Part 1. This movie tells the story of a girl who runs away from a research academy when she is young and goes on to lead a successful life. However, the people from the research academy eventually catch up with her. What do and they do to the girl? Does she manage to save herself? You will have to watch the movie to find out. It is an amazing film filled with non-stop action and thriller. Be sure to watch and recommend this movie. So continuing with your list, the 13th movie I recommend is The Guilty. This 2021 movie revolves around a police officer who receives a call from a distressed woman claiming to have been kidnapped. The story unfolds as the officer tries to help the woman over the phone, blending elements of action, thrill, crime and mystery. Watching this movie is a must and I highly recommend it. So moving on to the 14th movie on your list. The name of this movie is Parasite, which came out in 2019 and won 4 Oscar awards. This movie shows us a very stark contrast between a poor family and a rich family. The poor family gradually start working for the rich family, and after infiltrating the rich family's home, their actions reveal what the poor people are capable of. This movie is very deep and each viewer will have a different perspective while watching it. It represents two different colors of society and tries to show the stark differences in their lifestyles. This particular movie was very popular in the news for a long time, so if you haven't watched it yet, seriously, you would be missing out on a masterpiece. I highly recommend watching this movie. You can find it on Sony Live. So friends, moving on to the 15th movie on your list. The name of this movie is Demolition and it was released in 2015. Let's talk about the story of this movie. In this movie there is an investment banker who during a car crash tragically loses his wife. At that moment this guy is completely broken, but he slowly realizes that he needs to rebuild his life. How does he go about rebuilding it? Well, in this movie we are treated to some amazing acting along with a mix of action, thrill, mystery and suspense, so I highly recommend watching this movie. Friends, moving on to the 16th movie on your list. The name of this movie is Last Night in Soho. Talking about the story, this movie follows a girl who aspires to become a fashion designer. In order to fulfill her dream, she moves to London. Suddenly something unexpected happens to her at night in London and she finds herself transported back to the 1960s. In this era she meets another girl and the rest of the story explores what happens between the two girls to discover the events that unfold between them. You will have to watch this movie. Last Night in Soho offers a thrilling mystery experience along with stunning cinematography and visuals. This movie will be available to watch on Netflix. Now move on to the 17th movie on our list and the name of this movie is Warrior. I personally really like this movie. Talking about the story, it revolves around the story of two brothers who have a strained relationship between them. Both brothers end up enrolling in a fighting competition in MMA. Each of them has their reasons for doing so, their own compulsions. The Indian version of this movie has also been made called Brothers. It was quite popular when it was released. If I have to recommend one of these two movies, I would recommend watching this one. The way things unfold in this movie, it is a must watch. So friends, moving on to the 18th movie on your list. The name of this movie is Gladiator. This movie is one of the best revenge movie. The story revolves around a Roman general whose family is attacked and killed. Subsequently the general is enslaved, but he is so filled with the fire of revenge that he mercilessly kills all those responsible for his family's death in a brutal way. You can understand that when the emperor against whom he seeks revenge announces a grand battle, how this lone individual faces all of them, how the story unfolds, whether he successfully avenges his family or not. All of this makes for a thrilling and captivating experience. I highly recommend watching this movie as the action, adventure and thrill it offers are fantastic. You can catch this movie on Prime Video. So friends, move on to the 19th movie on your list. The name of this movie is Coherence. Talk about the story of this movie. In this movie some friends are gathered at an event party and suddenly a comet passes overhead and their brother slowly. There seems to be a Lot of change in the behavior. What is the change in the behavior, brother? This movie will definitely blow your mind. You have to give it a try. So friends, move on to the 20 last movie on your list. The name of this movie is The Butterfly Effect, brother. This movie will make your mind dizzy. In the beginning of the movie we are shown the story of a teenager who sometimes the blackout starts suddenly and suddenly at another moment have reached some other place. That means, brother, he jumped in time. Now he doesn't know what happens to him. He can't even tell anyone. But after a few years the story goes further that man has grown up now. After growing up he realizes that he can travel back in time, but not to some random location. He can travel to a specific time from his days when he was a teenager. Now he thinks that if he can do this, why not use this thing if picked up? He starts to change some events of his past. When events change, how does it happen with its story, brother? You have to watch the movie to know this. Seriously friends, it is a very unique movie. It is recommended to watch this movie. So friends, all of these movies, which have you seen? And if you haven't seen any of them, which movie will you want to see? Then tell us in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share the video. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.